What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Alexander here, back with some more Assassin's Creed 3. And yeah, it crashed. Thankfully, it started us really close where we were. It just completely froze in place there. Let's hope it doesn't happen again. Now that I said it, it will. Get up there.
Almost there, Desmond. Once you reach the top of the lit-up crane, you should be high enough to make the jump.
Should?
It'll be fine, don't worry.
Well, you might want to worry a little. I'm pretty sure she was high when she was running the numbers. Joke. It was a joke. Or was it?
Ooh. Gotta love Sean.
Jump when you're ready, but wait for my signal to open the chute. Timing's really important here. Too soon or too late, and you'll miss the building.
Alrighty.
Now! Open your chute, now!
Right for the H.
That wasn't so bad.
So,
Surprise.
you must be Desmond. Not exactly what I expected, but I guess your kind doesn't have many options these days.
Who are you?
Ask your father. Now give me that.
I don't think so.
Look, I'm not supposed to kill you, but the boss man didn't say anything about fucking you up. So you got to the counter. Oh!
What? Talk shit again. Well, and you, bam! Effective.
So who the hell is Daniel Cross?
Believe it or not, he used to be an assassin. The assassin, the way I've heard it told, but it turned out he was a sleeper agent for Abstergo, programmed to infiltrate and destroy the organization.
How did he know you were there? We could be compromised.
They must have caught me snooping inside their network and sent Cross to see what we were after. If they were aware of our current location, we'd know. Though, I will say this. Doesn't bode very well for future expeditions.
I've set up some cameras topside. If anyone shows up, we'll see it.
I'd suggest you go see about finding a socket for that power source. Or we can return to Connor if you prefer. All the artifacts in the world won't mean a thing without the key.
Let's do a bit of catch-up.
I know everyone thinks I'm being silly, but I can't shake the feeling we're being watched.
No.
We are being watched. By Juno. Or some version of her.
Do you think it's a recording? Or is she a ghost? Or something else? Is she talking to us the way Minerva talked to Ezio?
No clue. I mean, who knows what else they were working on down here? There's still so many rooms we don't have access to.
Do you think she's like literally down here, waiting somewhere, still alive?
Still alive? That's mental. That means she'd be at least 75, 80,000 years old? So powerful, yeah, but not that powerful.
They came down here looking for a way to survive. Maybe they found one.
Alrighty. Let's also look at our new emails. There we go. Sean is really getting on my nerves. You'd think with everything that's going on, the guy would stop being such a douche. Maybe he thinks it's funny, or maybe it's part of his snarky British charm. No, or maybe it's how he deals with the stress. Whatever it is, it's getting old real fast. You've got enough to worry about, you know, end of the world and everything. You'd think he'd show a little restraint or maturity or something. Sorry, not like you need to hear me venting. You've got enough on your plate. Please don't say anything to him, though. Well, today's not disappointed. In case you haven't noticed, we're knee-deep in the shit here. That might not be your ideal of a good time. It isn't anyone's ideal of a good time. Picking fights isn't going to get our work finished any faster. Get to the mission, the sooner we're through the door, the sooner we can get back to our lives, or in your case, the lack of one. Man, fuck William. You know, William's not the most diplomatic man, I'll give you that, but he cares about you very much. When you were under during that whole bit with 16, he never left your side. You even slept in the room when we put down for the night. Anyway, don't mean to be a busybody, just didn't want you to stay sore with him. Not too sore anyway. The man means well, even if he's got an odd way of showing it. Look, heads up that I've pushed in a few batch of entries focused on I'm not even going to try in order to ensure accuracy. I actually turned to a friend on the outside. Don't worry, he thinks it's for a presentation, so we're no danger of being discovered. You'll find a new section of the database labeled Surprise Surprise. It has information on their political and social structure, as well as some notes about their material culture. Connor's piece of eating interesting. The spear used by Connor during his spirit journey is clearly first civilization in origin. It appears to function as some sort of temporal calculator, essentially a crystal ball, but one that actually works. This cannot be coincidental, which begs the question, are there others out there? Hello, I guess. Is there anything in there that might lead to something? None of that looks like it could be anything that I would understand, except 404. I've had a lot of things go 404. It works. I should hardly be surprised electrical impulses move from one path to another. You call them networks. Our word for them was more akin to road. It is yet difficult to project a thought from one medium to another, and yet it works. It works. But I've been doing some digging on Haven's blade, still 100% sure where they came from. My intentional distinction was he started out as an assassin. I believe his father was one, in fact. But it appears it was a Templar from pretty early on. Maybe he took them from someone. It happened before. And they're quite handy. I'm surprised more Templars haven't put them to use. Pretty easy to build a pair if you know what you're doing. I found a way to better control the impulses to formulate a thought and transmit it. To add a sense of structure, a sense of order. You fear order. Your kind, the gentle hand tends the flock. It is a kindness, not a cruelty. I wonder, will you ever understand your enemies do it in their own way? But they share your base heritage. Their concept is flawed. They are not worthy. You have all proved unworthy of our gifts. So this is Juno? But Juno's really taking a shine to you. I suggest you do not engage her. There isn't time to go down that rabbit hole. I'm sure to... there isn't time to go down that hole. It's sure to prove a badger's den. Besides, this whole experience is actually... that final door, salvation was it? But for us... who knows? Here we sit, working towards something we know next to nothing about. It's our only chance, so there's that, I suppose. You alone. You should not meddle in affairs that do not concern... Oh, LOL, someone doesn't like me. You should not meddle in affairs that do not concern you. All these Juno visits and emails, too, apparently, have got me thinking, what happened to Tinia and Minerva? They're the ones who invited us to this little apocalypse party, and now they've gone and buggered off. A little inconvenient, not to mention rude. Yeah, I'll try and poke around later, see if there's not some sign of what happened to them. Alrighty. Let's talk to this douchebag.
Son, I owe you an apology. I shouldn't have lashed out like that. You have to understand, I've never been very good at this. Never mind that we live rather extraordinary lives.
Yeah, I kinda liked my ordinary one.
You can't escape who you are, Desmond.
So I've noticed.
Look, it's silly for us to go back and forth like this. I admit, I did a shitty job raising you. I apologize, I'm sorry. But it's important you understand it didn't come from a bad place. You're my son. I love you. I guess I was so busy trying to make sure nothing bad happened, I didn't consider the consequences. Truce.
Alrighty.
Ah, Desmond, there you are. Can I ask a favor?
Maybe?
When this is all over, I'd like to try turning the dial back on the Animus. Like, all the way back. To the time of the first civilization.
You think it would work?
There was no real loss of fidelity when you visited Altair. Then again, that was about 1,000 years ago, and I'm looking at going back at least 70,000 more.
Sure, I'd be up for it. It'd be interesting to see what things were like back then.
Excellent. I think it would prove most enlightening.
Isn't this... Now let... Ooh, wait. Oh, there's something there. I seen that. Alright, let's go looking for the plug-in for this thing. See what we can find. I don't know if it goes that way, so we'll head up here. And yes, I do not remember where to go. Oh, that's talking to William again.
In the beginning, when we thought we could be saved, we sought to face the sun's wrath and contain it. 4 towers would be built to pull her fury into this place and dispel it. But even with all we knew, with all we had, it would take too long. 1,000 years we could labor and still the work would not be done. The first tower was never completed. The project abandoned. We moved on. But while we labored on other endeavors, a few returned. They thought to automate the process. Metal might finish what flesh could not.
Alrighty. Here we can go up. Go. Those are the might. Oh, right there. Okay, there's another set of stairs right beside it. Or not. Actually. Up we go. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
If we could not meet the sun's cruel embrace, perhaps we might rebuke it. Already we could generate fields to protect us in times of strife. But these were small and simple things. To replicate them on a scale the size of a world. We lack the energy to make it so. Half the world, they said then. It is better than none at all. We tried. Again, we failed. A quarter, they asked. Even this we could not do. A sixth, An eighth, a 10th, they cried. The answer was still the same. Perhaps in time a city might be spared. But it was time we did not have. So we moved on.
Alright, so I'm guessing here's the plugin.
Wonder what's inside.
Only one way to find out.
Alrighty. Now we head back down. This was the area that unlocked, right?
So this is how it started.
What are you up to?
Just brushing up on my American history. I say history. They certainly teach you strange things in the States.
Like what?
Well, for all the talk of this being a revolutionary war, it was a civil one. Well, not that kind of civil. I mean, there was no America versus Britain. It was Brit on Brit action. And you can clearly see how the whole thing got started. One war gave birth to the other.
You mean the 7 Years' War?
Exactly. Seems the Crown overspent in its attempt to keep the French out. Wound up with a great deal of debt. Believing that the colonists should help to shoulder the burden, new taxes were created. It was a reasonable request, even if Parliament was rather, well, undiplomatic about it.
Well, it's not really fair to tax people for a war they didn't want any part of.
What? Didn't want any part of? Did you not notice George Washington with Edward Braddock? He was right there in the middle of it. So here you have the Crown spending who knows how much money to secure a place for the colonists to thrive, and then, when they ask for a little bit of help... Right, look, think of it this way. King George and the colonists, they all go out to dinner, right? And when the bill comes, George asks for them to kick in and pay their share. Fair enough. But keep in mind, he's been taking them out to dinner gratis for decades now. But the colonists, oh no, they insist they only had a glass of water and a side salad. Never mind the table's full of half-eaten food and empty bottles of wine. Now, when the king points this out, what do the colonists do? Oh, they flip the table over and they storm out the restaurant. Probably intending to return later and burn it down.
You left out the part where the king pointed a gun at the colonists and asked them to cover dinner for everyone in the restaurant.
Right, yeah, interesting take. If he pulled out a gun, and I'm not sure he did, it would only have been after the 100th failed attempt at getting them to pay their fair share.
But how do you define someone's fair share?
Oh, well, with a war, apparently.
Okay, apparently that wasn't the way we needed to go, so we're gonna go the other way. Let's see if there's anything this way, because it does look like a stairs here. Nope, that's just a stone slab. I wasn't really paying attention when the cutscene came up showing what unlocked. I'll be perfectly honest. Did I make it? I don't know, I can't really see over here. And that's blocked too. Okay. Since all that's blocked, I guess we'll go back in the... Oh wait. Is this door here?
What is a fact? Is it fixed? Immutable? Certain in its existence and only awaiting discovery? Or might it be changed? Here we learned the answer, and thought that it might be us. They were used to command, to control, to own. But we soon discovered another use. When enough sat in thrall and were told to believe, their thoughts took on form. what was imagined became real. If 100 minds could wish away a wall or create a tree, what might 1,000 do? 10,000? More? Might we change the consensus and will the threat away? We resolved to send one into the sky where it might illuminate us all. Once placed, a sentence would be uttered. Make us safe. In this way, we would change the consensus. We would save the world. But it never came to be. We sent a dozen of them skyward, but there was no way to maintain control, to direct the beam, to enthrall the world, to speak the words. Though this was strange and dangerous, what we tried next was worse.
Alright, I'm gonna end this here. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.